Okay guys, today, let me make sure my Bluetooth is off. It is. Today I'm going to take you back into one of my older works. I started writing a story. I do that a lot. I start to write a story and then I lose faith in myself. Ever happened to you? It happened to me. Anyway, so this is how it goes. So what it is about a girl who's running away. Okay. She was being chased. So she ran to the end of the cornfield and up the tree line of the forest. Capture seemed far worse than the dark woods. She stopped to look back at the farmhouse. They were closer than she thought. She must move quickly. With a heavy breath and fear chomping at her heels, she moved quickly over the path she'd strolled down 1,000 times. This path was much different in the dark. Her mind raced. Can't stay on this path. I'll be caught for sure. She darted off the path and created a path of her own. I'm sure this isn't what Robert Frost meant when he said the road less traveled, she thought nervously to herself. A good thing the moon is full tonight, or else I wouldn't be able to see it all. Positive thoughts, right? She continued to run through the darkness, flinching at the sharp brambles that thankfully threatened more damage than they delivered. The earth molded under her feet, leaving prints to be discovered. They wouldn't cross the tree line, would they? Way too much work for them, she thought bitterly. They had already more effort. They had already given more effort than she would have expected. What I wouldn't give for them to give more effort, she thought. She stopped to listen. The forest was silent. They had given up. She flopped herself down behind a large boulder to catch her breath. Pulling her knees to her chest, she trembled as the cold air blew through the leaves. I'll never be free. I may as well just sit here until they find me or until I freeze. She rested her head against the moss-covered pillow and stared up at the trees. There's got to be something more, even for someone like me. She reached into her coat pocket and pulled a small, worn-out brown pouch with a leather drawstring, and from the pouch pulled out a small tin box. She ran her fingers over the script on the top of the tin cover. This too shall pass, it said. She thought of her father. He'll be okay. He's a fighter. Her words trailed off in disbelief as they left her lips. Her mother would eat him alive, and that was a fact. She opened the tin and removed the joint in the lighter. This will calm the anxiety and allow me to think. If only she had someone to talk to, she thought to herself. No. You don't really want anybody to talk to. No one needs to be bothered by your drama. Nobody cares, stupid. The familiar feeling of shame and guilt overtook her, and the tears met her eyes and chased each other down her cheeks. But if people would just listen, if they could see what I see, they would understand. Nobody cares to hear it, and no one is going to believe you. I'm a good person. I'm not crazy, she cried. Nobody believes you. You did this to yourself, to me. Stop, she screamed, surprising herself with the volume of her voice as it echoed through the dark forest. Not high enough yet, apparently. My mother is still taking up space in my subconscious. She takes another drag off the joint, hoping to choke on the smoke filling her lungs. It's the cough that really elevates the high. Before she could enjoy the intake, the silence was broken by something dropping from the trees. It startled her so much, in fact, coughing was inevitable. She felt herself praying that she didn't die out there alone. And then another noise caught her attention. Something was moving in the woods. I'm a goner, she thought as she tried to compose herself. Twigs broke under pressure, and she could feel the earth underneath her settle as she nestled ever closer to the rock. The noises stopped a few feet away from her. It's certainly not human, she thought. She could now hear the footsteps of the beast getting closer. Rapid breaths sniffing the ground just feet away from her. Bear? No, footsteps were too light for a bear. Coyote? Maybe. Still not convinced. Dog? My dog? Ah, hell. What do I have to lose, she thought. She let out a shrill whistle. Katana would know it was her if it was her, and if it was not Katana, well, that thought really didn't make it to fruition before the whistle came out. Damn it! A small growl and a big head with big brown eyes greeted hers. Excitement oozed out of every part of Katana's body. You found me, she said through the slobbery tongue that showered her face with kisses. Oh, Katana, you're standing on my hip. You're not a lapdog, she smiled. She hugged her puppy. Did they follow you, Tana? I hope not. Tana sat in front of her with a concerned look. Probably not. I'm sure it's fine. That would be too much effort. But just in case, Tana, let's get moving. And away they went on their journey. Thanks for listening, guys.